The character of Captain America has become a linchpin of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and in no small part due to the performance of Chris Evans, who sometimes wears a wig and sometimes doesn't. I know this because I have excellent wigdar, so check this out. Wig, pig, dig. Anyways, the role wasn't always going to be that of Chris Evans's. In fact, I've compiled a list of 20 actors who could have very nearly taken it on. Now, some of these were only rumors, so bear that in mind, I guess. Or just believe everything. Okay, right out of the gate, it was once stated that Will Smith was offered the role. Whether or not this occurred, I do not know. It's never been confirmed. He was, of course, once pursued for the part of Superman, but declined as he was fearful of the backlash. Some have suggested in the past that he'd be perfect for Isaiah Bradley, but with him joining DC's Suicide Squad, that ship has well and truly sailed. Sam Worthington was once said to be in early talks. You have to bear in mind that that would have been at a time when Sam Worthington was in everything and everybody didn't hate Sam Worthington. Others said to have auditioned were Callan Lutz, Ryan Philippe, and Alexander Skarsgård, none of which feel like a great fit to me. Additional names mentioned were Dane Cook, Joe Jonas, and Kevin Jonas. Those names are considerably worse. The final shortlist was extensive. In addition to Chris Evans, we had Wilson Bethel, Scott Porter, Michael Cassidy, and Chance Crawford. Among those were more well-known names, such as Garrett Hedlund from Tron Legacy, Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, he'd actually make a great Hal Jordan, and 21 Jump Street's own Jonah Hill. I mean Dave Franco. Sorry, I mean Rob Riggle. No, I mean Channing Tatum. Sebastian Stan, also listed, obviously didn't take on the role, instead given the part of Bucky, later to become the Winter Soldier, and possibly even Captain America himself, if the movies follow a certain comic book arc. Himself and Chris Evans are actually roughly the same height, but with camera tricks it appears that Evans is much taller. It was said at one point that John Krasinski, from the American version of The Office, had the role pretty much in the bag, with it his to lose. At Marvel, he was even said to have been a favourite among the key decision makers. Regardless, that didn't pan out for unknown reasons. Perhaps because at the end of the day, they really wanted Evans. He was reluctant to take on the mantle, as he was worried that the fame would impinge on his private life, and was said to have been offered the role 3 times. He finally accepted, making it at the time his 5th comic book role, after having a conversation with Robert Downey Jr., who assured him that if he did take it, he could then pretty much walk into any part that he wanted. Now, despite making over $370 million US at the box office, Chris Evans was only paid $300,000, which is still quite a lot of money. That's often the way it goes with these Marvel movies, though. You sign up for a small-ish amount, and then with subsequent movies, your wage gradually increases. Joss Whedon recently admitted that he made more for the Dr. Horrible web series than he did for the first Avengers, which, considering that it's the 3rd highest grossing movie of all time, is insane. The exception to this is Robert Downey Jr., who makes all the money every time, especially when you consider that Evans made $2 million for the Avengers and Downey made $50. No wonder they're gonna punch each other. All that irrelevant stuff aside, I'm happy with the Captain America that we got. Chris Evans nails it every time. Maybe that's because he has a good understanding of the character and that he just enjoys playing him. As a bonus mention, Linda Dini played the role of skinny Steve Rogers in the first Avenger. Well, everything but his face, anyways. So I guess that makes this video 20 people who nearly played Captain America, and 1 guy who played the skinny version with Chris Evans' head slapped over the top. Thanks everyone, and if you liked this, why not check out this video on 7 actors who were very nearly Iron Man, and a look at the new Joker in all his glory? Also have a podcast called The Weekly Planet that covers movies, TV shows, comics, a bunch of stuff. That comes courtesy of comicbookmovie.com. You can find all those things I mentioned linked below or at the end of this video. But if Chris Evans wasn't to have taken on the role of Steve Rogers, who would you like to have seen instead? It can be anyone, by the way, not just somebody who's from this list. I always thought that young Robert Redford would have been great. If you do have any thoughts on that, please feel free to share them below. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.